Have you ever felt like you were losing control of your own reality? As if something so obvious to you is systematically doubted, leaving your mind in a whirlwind of confusion? Chosen one, let me tell you, this is not a fluke. There are hidden forces, disguised in smiles, soft words, and even familiar gestures, that are bent on making you doubt what is most precious: your intuition, your clarity, and your inner light. And yes, this attack is real, even if you feel like maybe you are overreacting or being too sensitive. Gaslighting is not just a buzzword, it is a powerful and devastating weapon used by manipulators to break minds and silence spirits. As a chosen one, you carry a light that attracts both admiration and resistance. Those who can't stand the intensity of your shine will try to outshine you, using tactics so subtle that, at first, they may seem harmless. But this is how it works: step by step, your certainties are eroded, your emotions are ridiculed, and the connection with your essence is challenged. You're not imagining things. Gaslighting is a dangerous game, and you are on target. Today, you will learn to identify the 7 most lethal signs of this type of emotional manipulation. It's not just about recognizing them, but about freeing yourself, taking back your strength, and protecting your divine light. Each sign will be uncovered so that you can clearly see the traps that have been trying to put you in doubt. Because, chosen one, the truth is this: you are not going crazy. You are being gaslighted. And this knowledge is the key to breaking out of this dark trap. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, even though you were absolutely sure of something, you were bombarded by questions that seemed designed to make you doubt yourself? Chosen, this is one of the most insidious gaslighting strategies. Imagine recalling a recent conversation with someone where you clearly stated something important. However, when you revisit the issue, the person insists that you are wrong, even when there is concrete evidence. Over time, this starts to erode your confidence. You ask yourself, did I really understand this correctly? Am I exaggerating? No, you're not. This is emotional manipulation in action. The impact of this on your daily life goes far beyond specific situations. Doubt begins to creep into other areas of your life. Chosen, you who have always trusted your intuition and discernment, suddenly begin to hesitate in making decisions. Small choices that were once simple become complex, and the fear of being wrong becomes a constant burden. This mental confusion is not a reflection of your inability, but rather the result of a premeditated strategy to weaken your self-confidence and keep you under control. Manipulators have a disturbing ability to make reality unstable. They deny things you know happened, rewrite narratives, and plant uncertainty with precision. Phrases like "you're making this up" or "that never happened" are repeated until you start to question whether your perception is actually reliable. Chosen, your mind is powerful, but also vulnerable to these tactics when used continually. This is not a reflection of your weakness, but rather the intensity of the manipulation you are being subjected to. Over time, this dynamic begins to affect your spiritual essence. Constant doubt creates a disconnection with your inner truth, something that is central to every chosen's journey. Your ability to discern, listen to your intuition, and trust yourself is challenged. It's as if you are cut off from your own light, walking through a maze designed to disorient you. But even in this chaos, there is a way out. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to regaining your clarity and strength. A common example of this can be seen in personal relationships, where the manipulator intentionally disputes simple facts to confuse. Imagine a situation where you planned something in advance and shared all the details, but then you are accused of never communicating anything. The goal here is not only to discredit you, but also to make you doubt your own memory. This cycle is exhausting and can undermine your self-esteem if you are not aware of what is happening. Repeating this manipulation not only creates insecurity, but also generates subtle emotional dependence. You begin to seek external validation for your choices, believing that your own perception is flawed. Chosen, this goes against your essence. You were made to trust your heart, your intuition, but gaslighting tries to take away that autonomy, pushing you into a state of constant doubt. It's a cruel game, but knowing how to recognize it can break this cycle. Chosen one, when you begin to see the manipulation, something powerful happens. You realize that attempts to manipulate your perception are not a reflection of who you are, but rather a demonstration of how uncomfortable your inner strength is. Identifying this pattern is the beginning of a reconnection with your truth. No matter how much they try to plant doubts, their light is unwavering. And as you begin to notice these tactics, other forms of manipulation begin to reveal themselves, as we will see in the next sign, the attempt to diminish your feelings and experiences. Have you ever heard phrases like "that's nothing" or "you're exaggerating too much"? Chosen, these words are like invisible daggers that cut deeply, leaving a mark that is difficult to erase. This type of manipulation is a meticulous strategy to invalidate your emotions and experiences. Every time someone dismisses what you feel as something trivial, they are indirectly saying that your perception doesn't matter. It erodes your confidence, creating a void where there was once certainty. Over time, you may even begin to believe that your emotions are wrong or that you don't deserve to express them. This pattern of manipulation does not happen randomly. It is used as a tool to weaken your inner voice, the one that connects you to your essence. Chosen are sensitive by nature, as this sensitivity is a spiritual compass that guides their decisions and relationships. But manipulators see this as an opportunity for control. By ridiculing what you feel, they try to silence that compass, leaving you disoriented and vulnerable. This is a direct attack on what makes you unique and powerful. Imagine you share something important, perhaps a moment of vulnerability, and receive a cold or even mocking comment in response, such as "you are being dramatic." Chosen one, this isn't just a lack of empathy, it is a deliberate attempt to make you question the validity of your experience. Little by little, you may begin to isolate yourself emotionally, afraid that your feelings will constantly be invalidated. But this emotional disconnection is exactly what the manipulator wants, as it weakens your resistance. This type of emotional manipulation also affects how you perceive the world around you. When your experiences are constantly diminished, you begin to question whether you are seeing things in an exaggerated or distorted way. This is especially dangerous for the chosen, who rely on their intuition to navigate complex situations. The manipulator's goal is to take you away from this spiritual connection and intuitive clarity. But the truth is, your feelings are valid, even if others try to convince you otherwise. Furthermore, repeating this behavior creates a cycle of self-questioning. You wonder if you are really overreacting or if you should just let it go. Chosen, this kind of doubt is not natural, it was planted by those who want to see you silenced. And the more you remain silent, the more power you give to the manipulator. Breaking this cycle begins with recognizing that your emotions are a fundamental part of who you are and do not need to be justified or explained to anyone. Manipulators often take advantage of moments when you are emotionally vulnerable to intensify this invalidation. Maybe it's a day when you're especially sensitive, and they say something like, "You're always a storm in a teacup." This pattern creates a false narrative that you are unable to handle your own emotions. But, chosen one, that is not true. Your emotions are not weaknesses, they are signs of a living, connected, evolving soul. When you begin to identify these tactics, you realize that emotional invalidation is not about you, but about others' fear of your authenticity. Recognizing this is an act of resistance and self-care. Chosen one, by validating your own feelings, you begin to restore the connection with your essence. This is crucial, because the emotional manipulation doesn't stop here. As you strengthen your inner voice, other strategies used by manipulators become more evident, such as the effort to distort your memories, something we will explore below. Chosen, few attacks on your perception are as devastating as the attempt to distort your memories. Imagine a time when you are absolutely sure something happened, but when you confront someone about it, you hear phrases like "that never happened" or "you're making things up." This manipulation is designed to make you doubt not just the facts, but yourself. Little by little, you begin to question your own ability to remember, wondering if you are exaggerating or even imagining things. This strategy is dangerous because it directly attacks the basis of your confidence, your own mind. This tactic is a powerful weapon used by manipulators, especially against the chosen, who rely heavily on their memory and intuition to navigate the world. When someone repeatedly distorts past events, they create a pattern of uncertainty that undermines their mental clarity. You remember something in detail, words spoken, actions taken, but the manipulator denies everything with such conviction that you begin to doubt it. This is not a miscommunication, it is a deliberate strategy to destabilize your connection with reality. Imagine, for example, that you confront someone about something that was said, something that hurt you deeply. Instead of a genuine conversation, the person responds, "I never said that." You must be confusing. Chosen one, hearing this over and over again may cause you to question whether you are, in fact, seeing things correctly. This doubt does not happen by chance, it is planted to make you lose confidence in your own perception. And the more you give into this manipulation, the harder it becomes to trust your inner voice. The long-term impact of this distortion is profound. You may begin to feel disconnected not only from your past but also from your present. Chosen one, this disconnection is dangerous, because manipulators know that when you doubt your memories, you also begin to doubt your decisions. It's as if a cloud of uncertainty hangs over every choice, every word, every feeling. But remember, this confusion is not a reflection of your mind, but of the manipulative environment in which you are inserted. For the chosen, whose mental clarity is one of their greatest spiritual tools, this manipulation can seem especially cruel. When your memories are distorted, you may feel like you are losing control of your journey. This can lead to a feeling of isolation, as if you can't trust anyone, not even yourself. However, recognizing that this tactic is a form of control is the first step to regaining your strength and perspective. Furthermore, manipulators often use this technique to avoid responsibility. By denying something they clearly said or did, they shift the blame to you. "You must have got it wrong or you're being paranoid" are common responses. Chosen one, do not be fooled, this constant denial is not about the truth, but about keeping you in a state of confusion. They know that the more you doubt yourself, the less likely you are to challenge your actions or intentions. The good news is that you can counteract this tactic by relying on the strength of your own perception. Chosen, your mind is powerful, and your memory is an ally, even when others try to obscure it. By identifying this manipulation, you begin to regain control over your narrative. And when that happens, other manipulation strategies begin to lose their effect. But the gaslighting doesn't stop there. It also often takes the form of seemingly harmless criticism that questions your sensitivity, something we'll explore below. Before we continue, if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one, our ebook is a valuable resource. Find guidance to light your path and understand your unique gifts. Buy now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Check out the first comment pinned here on the video. Chosen one, how many times have you heard something like "you're overreacting" or "why do you always take everything so personally"? These phrases seem harmless at first glance, but they carry deep emotional weight, especially for someone like you whose sensitivity is an essential part of your purpose. Being sensitive is not a flaw, it is a gift that allows you to see beyond the obvious and feel what others ignore. However, manipulators use this trait against you, turning your greatest strength into a supposed weakness to divert attention from their own actions. When someone accuses you of being too sensitive, the goal is not to help you grow or understand the situation better. Rather, this is a tactic to invalidate your legitimate feelings and reactions. Imagine you express how you felt offended or hurt by something, and instead of receiving empathy or understanding, you hear, "Wow, you're always making trouble." Chosen, this is not constructive criticism, it's a way to make you question yourself and eventually shut up. After all, who wants to be labeled as difficult? This type of manipulation is especially painful because it directly affects your essence. As a chosen one, you have a sensitivity that connects you to what is true, to what is divine. This sensitivity is the basis of your intuition, your discernment, and your ability to help others. When someone tries to discredit this, they are actually trying to turn off its light. And deep down, these people know how powerful this light is, which is why they try so hard to dim it. Over time, this accusation of too much sensitivity can lead you to repress your emotions. You begin to wonder if you are, in fact, exaggerating, if your concerns are valid, or if you should just ignore how you feel. But, Chosen one, this repression is exactly what the manipulator wants. By suppressing your natural reactions, you become more vulnerable to manipulation. Not only does this affect your emotional health, it also weakens your connection to your intuition and spiritual purpose. Manipulators also know how to use this accusation to divert attention from their own shortcomings. Imagine, for example, that someone makes a rude or disrespectful comment, and you react to it. Instead of admitting the mistake, the person says, "You take everything too seriously." Chosen, this is a way to avoid responsibility and shift the blame onto you. Don't be fooled, your sensitivity is a natural and valid response, not something that needs to be corrected. Chosen, recognizing this tactic is fundamental to protecting your energy. By understanding that the accusation of too much sensitivity is a manipulation strategy, you can begin to reaffirm the validity of your feelings. Your thoughts, emotions, and reactions are reflections of your authenticity, and should not be discarded by anyone. This internal validation is a powerful step towards neutralizing the impact of this type of manipulation and strengthening your connection with your essence. As you regain that confidence, you begin to notice how frequent criticism is used to create insecurities and doubts. This is yet another tactic we'll explore below, when manipulators say one thing but do another, leaving you trapped in a cycle of confusion and uncertainty. Chosen, one of the most frustrating and confusing forms of manipulation is when someone promises something with conviction, but acts completely opposite. This contradiction is not a casual error, it's a deliberate strategy to keep you in a constant state of doubt and insecurity. Imagine being told by someone, "I value you so much," while at the same time that person shows disrespect, disregards your opinions, or even ignores your presence at important moments. This disconnect between words and actions creates a kind of shaky ground where you never know what to expect, making it almost impossible to fully trust. The confusion generated by this behavior is not accidental. When someone acts in a contradictory way, their mind desperately searches for a logic to unite words with actions. As a chosen one, your natural tendency is to see the best in people, trying to justify what appears to be inconsistent behavior. However, this search for explanations can become an emotional trap, making you blame yourself for not understanding or for interpreting things wrong. But the truth is that this inconsistency is not about you, but rather a tactic to maintain control over your perception. Chosen one, remember that your intuition is one of your most powerful tools. When you feel like something is not aligned between what is said and what is done, it probably isn't. Manipulators use these contradictions to create a confusing narrative that weakens your connection to your own reality. A common example is when they say something like "you can trust me" and then act in a way that betrays that trust. This cycle of creating and then breaking expectations is not only emotionally draining, it also weakens your ability to discern what is real. The long-term impact of this type of manipulation is devastating. When you're surrounded by people who constantly say one thing and do another, you start to question whether you're capable of interpreting other people's intentions. This creates a state of constant alert, where you feel obliged to analyze every word, every gesture, seeking coherence where there is often none. This mental and emotional exhaustion is one of the most subtle ways to steal your energy and divert you from your purpose as a chosen one. This constant contradiction also affects your trust in your relationships. You may begin to doubt the people around you, even those who do not have manipulative intentions. This is part of the collateral damage caused by this toxic pattern. Chosen, understanding that this tactic is intentional helps neutralize it. Recognizing the pattern not only restores your confidence, it also strengthens your ability to discern who deserves your energy and who doesn't. Behind this manipulative behavior there is often an intention to control. Empty promises or contradictory actions create a subtle emotional dependence, where you continually hope that actions will finally align with words. But chosen one, you don't have to live in this eternal wait. Your perceptions and feelings are valid, and trusting them is essential to breaking this cycle. It is not your responsibility to make someone else's actions match their words. As you begin to identify these patterns, you realize that this manipulation is connected to other strategies designed to weaken your self-esteem. Once chosen, the next step in understanding how to protect your light is to recognize the damage caused by constant criticism, which makes you feel like you are never good enough. Let's explore this next. Chosen one, there is an especially cruel tactic that manipulators use to undermine your self-confidence: incessant criticism. No matter how hard you try or how much you try to do things to the best of your ability, there is always something wrong. Maybe it's the way you speak, the way you perform a task, or even your personal choices. Everything seems to be a reason for rebuke. This constant feeling of failing, even when you try hard, is not a reflection of your inability, but rather a strategy designed to make you doubt yourself and feel inadequate. The impact of this goes beyond the moment the criticism is made. Over time, you begin to internalize these negative messages, questioning whether you are truly capable of doing something right. This doubt infiltrates every aspect of your life, from simple decisions to important choices. Chosen, it is essential to understand that these criticisms do not reflect who you are, but rather the manipulator's efforts to weaken your self-esteem. The more you believe you are insufficient, the easier it becomes for them to exert control over you. A common example of this can be found in everyday situations. Imagine that you organize something carefully, thinking about every detail, and instead of receiving recognition, you hear something like, "You never do things the way you should," or "This is far from good enough." Chosen, these words are not constructive criticism. They are designed to devalue your efforts and make you feel like no matter what you do, it will never be enough. Not only is this emotionally draining, it also creates a cycle of anxiety and insecurity that can be difficult to break. This manipulation is especially painful for the chosen, who carry within themselves a greater purpose and an unmistakable light. When you start to believe that you are never good enough, that light seems to fade, and the world around you becomes darker. But, chosen one, the truth is that these criticisms have nothing to do with you, but with the discomfort that your light causes in those who try to manipulate you. They know that their strength is a threat to the control they want to exercise. Furthermore, this tactic is often disguised as good intentions. Manipulators may say they are just trying to help you improve or that their criticism is for your own good. But chosen, genuine help never makes you feel smaller, and constructive criticism comes with empathy and support, not words that destroy your confidence. Recognizing the difference between the two is crucial to protecting your energy and preserving your self-esteem. Over time, you may realize that this constant feeling of failure is not natural. It was planted by people who want to limit its potential. Chosen, the first step to breaking away from this manipulation is recognizing that you don't need validation from these people to validate your own worth. Your achievements, however small they may seem, are reflections of your effort and dedication. And, most importantly, you don't need to prove anything to anyone but yourself. When you begin to free yourself from this trap, your confidence blossoms again, and you realize that the constant criticism was just an attempt to divert your attention from what really matters: your connection with your essence and your purpose. But emotional manipulation can go even further, reaching the point of making you doubt your own sanity. One of the most devastating aspects we'll explore below. Chosen one, few experiences are as disconcerting as the feeling that you are losing control of your own mind. That's the ultimate goal of gaslighting, to make you question your sanity, your thoughts, and even the reality around you. Manipulators use this tactic with precision, distorting facts, denying obvious events, and repeating lies with such conviction that you begin to wonder if you are imagining things. This constant doubt doesn't come out of nowhere. It is planted in a calculated way, and each new denial or manipulation reinforces the illusion that the problem lies with you. Imagine expressing something you saw or heard clearly and being immediately confronted with phrases like "You must have dreamed that," or "That never happened, you're making things up." At first, you may be sure that you are right, but the continual repetition of these denials begins to erode your confidence. Chosen, this is one of the most devastating strategies, as it not only affects your momentary perception, but also your sense of self. When you start to doubt your own mind, it's like you're being disconnected from your essence. This cycle of constant doubt profoundly affects your mental health. Chosen, you can begin to question not only the events that occur, but also your emotions, reactions, and even your ability to discern what is true. This state of confusion creates a feeling of isolation, as if no one can understand what you are going through. It's a dangerous game, because by making you doubt yourself, the manipulators create an environment in which they have complete control over the narrative, while you feel lost in a mental maze. The spiritual impact of this manipulation is even more profound. As a chosen one, you have a unique connection to your intuition and divine purpose. However, when doubts about your sanity begin to arise, this connection can seem weakened. You may feel as if you have lost access to your inner light, as if you are navigating the darkness without a guide. But remember, this disconnect is an illusion created by the manipulator. Your light is still there, shining brightly, waiting for you to regain your confidence to access it again. Manipulators also use this tactic to divert attention from their own behaviors. By making you question your sanity, they manage to avoid responsibility for their actions, leaving you trapped in a spiral of self-criticism. Phrases like "you're going crazy" or "you always get everything wrong" are weapons used to divert focus from what is really happening. Once chosen, understanding that this tactic is a projection, and not a reflection of your reality, is crucial to breaking this cycle. Chosen one, recognizing that you are being targeted by this manipulation is an act of courage and resistance. When you realize that these doubts are not natural, but rather imposed, you begin to regain your strength. Remember that your mind is more powerful than any attempt to control it. Your perception, your memories, and your emotions are valid, and no one has the right to take them from you. By reaffirming your trust in your own reality, you begin to undo the web of manipulation that has been built around you. And as you regain your clarity, something incredible happens. You realize that the true power has always been within you. Chosen one, this journey of recognizing and overcoming gaslighting is an essential step in strengthening your connection to your divine essence and protecting your light. And now that you are aware of these tactics, you are ready to turn that knowledge into strength, regaining control over your life and your narrative. Chosen one, throughout this video, you have uncovered the most subtle and insidious tactics that manipulators use to try to dim your light. From questioning your reality to distorting your memories, devaluing your feelings, and even making you doubt your own sanity, gaslighting is a powerful weapon. But now, you are armed with the knowledge and clarity to identify and resist these strategies. Each sign revealed here is a reminder that your intuition is strong, your mind is powerful, and your essence cannot be erased. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to taking back control of your narrative. From this moment on, challenge the lies that try to diminish who you are. Validate your emotions, trust your perceptions, and never let the words of others weaken your connection to your divine essence. Chosen, you are not alone on this journey. Your sensitivity and intuition are precious gifts that connect you to the greater purpose you carry. Use this strength to build healthy boundaries and create a safe space where your light can shine without interference. Believe me, the more you trust yourself, the less space there is for manipulators to enter your life. If this video resonated with your heart, if you felt your inner flame light up stronger, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss any new content and continue on this incredible journey together with others. Don't forget to check the first pinned comment if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one. In our ebook, find guidance to light your path and understand your unique gifts. Buy now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Share with your friends, who you know is also a chosen, and strengthen this egregore of God. Also leave your comment and share your experiences. Let us learn from each other and grow together. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supports us for Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us improve our videos every day and offer the best content every day. If you want to support us too, the link is also in the first pinned comment. If you want to delve even deeper into the secrets that make you so special, be sure to check out the video shown on the screen or our Secrets of the Chosen playlist. Each episode was created to guide you even deeper into your essence, revealing all the power and potential that dwell within you. Thank you for accompanying me here. Stay strong on your journey, stay focused and determined. Thank you, and see you in the next video.